I got you.
All right, go ahead, spring, green light.
Okay. All right, good morning. Today is the 13th of June. It is 9:02. Our first location will be Rayburn Correctional. Would headquarters staff introduce themselves, please?
Jason Tom, Carla Williams, Sheree Owens.
Francis Abbott.
Okay, serving on the board with me today is to my left, Danny Barra. To my right, Mr. Tillis, and my name is Pete Freeman. We will be your committee on parole today. First, Raven, would you let your staff introduce yourself?
Yes, I have Warden Travis Day here. Kristen NAVARRE is here. She'll be walking in just a second.
Lexi Kennedy.
Kristen Herbert.
I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. I thought you were sitting there. I'm sorry. Thank you.
All right. Okay, I see we have some guests. Would you please introduce yourself and tell me the relationship?
Yes, sir. Megan Duncan, sister. Sierra Martin, sister-in-law.
Devontae Bedford's brother.
Okay, are any of y'all gonna speak today or be a witness today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, who? All of y'all or just one?
I am. Megan Duncan, I am.
Megan Duncan, okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank y'all for showing up this morning. Okay, I'm gonna read some preliminary information into the record. Mr. Tillis has been assigned this case. He will lead the questioning, and then we will ask any questioning we have. After that, we will listen to the supporters, and we will listen, we'll give the inmate the final statement. Mr. Bedford, you'll have your final statement. Now, each, Ms. Megan Duncan, please try to hold it down to about 3 or 4 minutes. We got 10 cases today, so, you know, we have to limit the amount of time we can have you talk. I'm sorry. But that's just the way it is. Okay, today we have for parole consideration, Vicarious, is that how you say it?
Vicarious.
First off, Mr. Bedford, give me your name and DOC number.
Vicarious Bedford 627-613.
Okay. All right. Today we have for consideration Mr. Bedford, who is a third felony offender, was convicted of, let's see, possession of cocaine, probation technical violation. Then you have possession of hydrocodone, possession with intent to distribute cocaine. Looks like you got a revocation for parole on that one. And then last you got a possession of cocaine, which was a habitual offender. Your total sentence is 13 years and 11 months, 22 days. Your parole date is 6/13/24. Wait, no, I'm sorry. 11/21/20. Your adjusted good time date is November 2028. And your full term date is October 2031. Okay. Is that information correct, Mr. Bedford?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Tillis, you can begin your question.
All right, good morning. How are you, Mr. Bedford?
All right.
How long have you been incarcerated?
6 years.
6 years total?
Yes, sir.
Have you taken any training since you've been there?
I'm taking HISET right now. One part from getting my HISET, all I gotta do is retake science. I took it last month. I had failed it by 1 point. I got it in my folder. I was trying to get a welding trade, but I've been in private owned facilities that you gotta be 2 years and under to get in class and things. So a lot of things I couldn't get.
Did you take any drug abuse classes?
I took Thinking for a Change and I'm at AA 12 steps right now.
You're a third felon offender. What's going on with the drugs? Do you want to tell me about it or give me some kind of insight on it?
I made some poor choices in life. And I know, like, I was a follower and I like to, you know, do things, try to follow people, other people. But it's like, I really want to get my life together. And, you know, the past couple of years, I lost a lot of family. And like I said, I really have learned these past years. And I'm not telling you today that just to let me go home. I want to go to a program, a 6-month program. Cause like I said, I've been in private owned jails and I couldn't really get the classes, but I really want to help and better myself. And I want to like go to a Stephen Hall program. I want to go to a Hunt's program. I really want to better myself. I really want to go home and do the right thing, you know, and stay home for my family.
You know, I read through your case, looked through all of it, and I think you put a letter in too, stating that you've had some problems with drugs, and you also have been revoked several times.
Yes, sir.
What's going on? I mean, well, it's hard. It's not hard to follow the rules, but it makes it real bad when you don't.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. How far did you go in high school or college?
I made it to 11th grade.
11th grade. You got your GED yet?
I'm one part from it right now.
Okay, one part from it.
I got it in my portfolio.
Go ahead.
I have it in my portfolio. I had put it in my folder.
Okay, all right. Why is it, and you said you want to get back and help your family and all that. What makes you think that you won't store it on drugs again? You know, get out, maybe start selling drugs or using drugs again.
I'm past that. I've been down 6 years and like my family been supporting me for 6 years and like I've been giving them a hard time and I wouldn't put them in a situation to go out there and just continue to do the same thing. Like I'm settled with a 9-to-5, trying to build myself and getting my own business and doing the right thing. Like 6 years in jail, I've had nothing. So what's the point of sacrificing and trying to start over, do this again, do that again? I just want to get home to my family and just show you that, like, show them that I'm prepared and I'm ready to come home. I know I made a lot of mistakes and I take full responsibility of it, but this is not the path I want to live. This not my life. Like I said, I know I did think I was a follower, but jail not for me. Jail, I've been doing this for 6 years, and like I'm ready. I know I'm ready. Like I said, I know it's a consistent of me coming back to jail back to back, but like I know that this time I'm really gonna do everything I gotta do to take sacrifices to, you know, be the best person for me and my family.
You're 28
Yes, sir.
years. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I have no more questions.
Mr. Barra, you have any questions?
Yeah. I see that while you were on probation or parole, it says you had 8.7 ounces of cocaine. That seems to be a lot of cocaine found by your parole officer. How often were you moving that kind of cocaine? That's a lot.
Yes, sir. I wasn't home that long. I just was being a follower. I was being a follower, you know, doing things I wasn't supposed to do, letting people, you know, influence, you know, I was influencing myself to try to make fast money.
And it seems like your record reflects that you had 3 periods already, chances to do right, and 2 of the 3 were revoked. So that tells us that you kind of hadn't been doing too good on parole on your last couple of times. I do see you wrote a letter, and I think it's a very good letter. Give you credit with that one. That was my only question about that amount and the parole.
Okay, Ms. Duncan, we'll hear from you.
Good morning. My name is Megan. I'm gonna speak on behalf of Vicarious. I think it should be taken under consideration, because as he said, we've lost a couple family members. One grandmother that actually raised him, and he's seen things that had happened to people around him due to drugs and, you know, just not living the right life, and given, you know, the circumstances that he was under peer pressure, not, you know, doing what he's supposed to do, instead of just, you know, going get a job and following the leader, he just, you know, strayed away when he had the potential and, you know, family to support and stuff like that. And I really think he would do good in the society. He have a couple of family members that he can, you know, help out with work. A couple people have their own businesses to show, you know, that he is capable of doing the right thing and coming home and getting on a straight and narrow path. His siblings have expanded family, multiple children. I've had children myself. His our brother have had, you know, more children, and, you know, he just, you know, needs to come home and enjoy time and family and those moments with the family that we do have left. So I think he'll, you know, do good coming home if it's under you guys' consideration, you know, giving him that second chance and being back in society and bettering himself, getting a job and, you know, going to programs that can help him do better, drug programs to help him get his mind right, counseling, and going to work every day and spending time with family. That'll show, you know, he wants to do better for his family.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Vicarious, quick question. I see you had an aggravated fight. I mean, in 2022. What was that about?
I was at DCI. It was supposed to drop it down to 10. We had a minutes dude had a little altercation, and, you know, it was just a misunderstanding. We slept next to each other. Some came up missing by his bed, and he come and he was just, you know, saying loud things, and we had an altercation, and, you know, we had a little dispute, but they were supposed to have dropped the aggravated fight down to a regular fight, because it was just yeah, because it was just a little blood, and, you know, he had hit himself on a locker, and I had a little mark on my hand, and they just tried to, you know, they thought it was weapon use, but it was just a misunderstanding. It was a fight, regular fight.
And then you had a cell phone one time. And then on 2/22, you had, let's see, 3 defiance. 5 aggravated disobedience. And so 26, unsanitary practice.
What, 22?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I take full responsibility. A lady had got an altercation, and she had did a drug test, and the drug test was wrong, and I told her to redo the drug test, and she told me she wasn't redoing the drug test. So when she put me in a hole, I had to do a tree into the wall.
All right. I don't think there's any further questions. Warden, you have anything to tell us about him?
Yeah, you know, Mr. Bedford, he's been here since 11/2023. We've tried to get him into some classes, and I think he's in some right now. He is a trustee here on DOTD crew. Has no write-up since he's been here, so he has had no disciplinary issues since he's been here. You know, he and I met earlier in the week and went over his file and talked about some of his past and in and outs and busting out on parole. And I think he understands where he is. Personally, I think he completed some more of the classes and got a little bit further along. It would prepare him better once he gets out. but he's doing great here right now.
Thank you, Warden Day. Panel ready to vote?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Tillis, you go first.
Mr. Bennett,
Yes, sir.
I agree totally with the warden and what you said earlier. I think you need some more training. I'd like to see you get your GED. I'd like to see you take some more drug classes. And personally, I don't think you're ready to get out right now. And my vote is to deny.
Danny?
I'm gonna concur with Mr. Tillis. You haven't even done half of your sentence yet as a habitual offender. And that you continue to sell drugs, large amounts of drugs, while you were on your last period of supervision. But I do think, I read your letter and I'm hearing your record in jail. I think you're heading in the right direction. Some more classes and some more training and reapply again for parole. We'll give you another chance to apply. After some more classes and a little more time.
Okay, and my vote is the same for the same reasons. Think you're doing well. We're gonna recommend, we can't make them, but we want to try to get you to Steve Hall. Because you do need it 100%. Before you get out, we really need to get that done. So today it's been denied, but keep doing what you're doing and we'll see what happens next time. Thank
What
you.
can I reapply?
2 years or 1?
2?
6 months.
6 months.
6
6
months.
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 But I would try to,
Get Steve Hall before then. We're gonna try to get you in it.
well, we'll see what we can do to get you in it.
But just make sure you put in my my folder so I can try to get to the program.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Get with me. Yeah, we'll get you this stuff. All right. Stay straight out there. All right.
Okay, good morning. We're back. Session time is at 9:26. We're still at Rayburn's. Sitting with me is Mr. Byra to my left, Mr. Tillis to my right. My name is Pete Freeman. I will be the acting chair today. Okay, next case we have will be Mr. Cousins. Okay.
Yes.
Ms. Cousins, I see you have Molly Cousins. Is that you, Miss Molly?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you will speak, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I will tell you at the proper time when you will speak.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
let's get the cut. All right. Today is 6/13/2004. We're here with Mr. Cousins. Mr. Cousins, would you tell us your name and DLC number?
My name is Oliver Cruz and my number is 94323.
How do you say your last name? Cousins or Kuzan?
Cruzan.
Kuzan.
French.
All right. All right, Mr. Cousins, you're currently in there serving a total of 34 years and 3 months for the charges of aggravated battery, possession of firearm, and you got revoked on that one. Aggravated criminal damage to property. Looks like there was a revocation on that one too. Possession of a firearm, a revocation, and aggravated arson, a revocation. Your good time date is your parole eligibility date is 3/6/23. Your good time date is 9/10/32. Is that right? And your full term date is 1/18/36. Does that information sound correct?
Yes, sir.
So, today, your case has been assigned to Mr. Barra. Mr. Barra, would you lead off the question?
Yes, sir. I need to first start by looking at your record and letting you know that it's not very good. You've had a lot of aggravated charges, a lot of aggravated batteries. You've been arrested 22 times for 28 charges, and 7 crimes were against the person. And you've also had 10 other cases, and some of those were victim cases with simple batteries and simple burglaries and armed robberies being dismissed or not prosecuted. So you had a couple of breaks there, and currently you have six victims in the cases that we're looking at right now, and we have opposition from some of those victims. We also have some opposition, strong opposition from law enforcement, from the judges, DA, the sheriffs in three different parishes. 3 different judges, I mean. So we'll start by that, but knowing that, what have you done since you've been there to help you control your anger and deal with the issues that pop up that in the past have turned violent? What's going to be different nowadays? I know, people go older and get wiser. What's happening with you?
Well, I got old and I got wise. I haven't had a write-up in 9 years. I got wise. I did a few classes. I got some classes in. I work regular. I work all during my jokes. I did number work. I mean, I'm a good worker and everything else. I don't get in trouble no more. I would like to get out and raise my grandkids. I didn't raise my kids, but I like to raise my grandkids. I'm old now, I'm 63. I ain't young no more. And I see the way the governor got the world, with young people gonna carry firearms and everything. I gotta get out there and take care of my kids. Let them know, don't take the route that I'm living, that I have lived. I really got my mind right. I'm not the person that I used to be. I'm old now, I got bad knees, and I lost my teeth and everything. I'm not young no more. I got a hole in the system.
Gotcha. Where you plan on living if we would let you go?
In Lacombe. I'm with my nephew for time being. You know, I got places I can work. Got people gonna give me jobs, help me out because I want to help myself. I got families that stick with me, that love me.
Right. That's all the questions I have.
Mr. Tillis, do you have any questions?
Yeah. Did you get your GED?
No, sir.
How long have you been incarcerated?
Been incarcerated 21 years now.
21 years. You were saying you want to get out and kind of help rear your grandkids and stuff. What type of work or what kind of skills do you have?
I'm good with labor. I do labor work. I'm good with labor.
And you haven't taken much training while you were there?
No, sir. I got jobs waiting for me now, labor.
What were you doing while you were incarcerated? What do you do at your time while you're there?
Dome all. Right now I'm a trustee. Worked in the kitchen. I got soap plant certificates. I got healthcare audit certificates.
How long have you been a trustee?
About 2 years.
2 years. Okay, I have no more questions.
Okay. Warden, you have any information you'd like to give us?
You know, looking at, he's been here since 23, September of 23. He is correct in the fact that he's been well behaved since he's been here. As I spoke earlier, he and I met earlier in the week, and he is aware of some of his challenges and his past history. So, but as far as here, he's been doing good since 23.
Mr. Kuzman, I'm looking at your case. I mean, there's 3 batteries on inmates.
Yes, sir.
One was a rape that you chased the guy with, one was a knife stabbed him with.
It all was based upon the same thing. It was about my manhood. And in prison, you gotta protect your manhood. That's all it was. That's what prison is dealing with. That's all it's about. But all that, I mean, all that. Oh, man.
Okay, Ms. Cousins, Ms. Molly, what do you have to tell us about Mr. Cousins? Who's that?
He changed a lot, and we ready for him to come home. My mom 90-something, trying for him to get there. She wants to spend the rest of her, life with her son. She barely here, and he have a job. My cousin got a job for him. We got to pay for him to stay, and I need him myself. I stay by myself. He can even stay with me. He got a place to stay. We got a job for him, and we gonna take care of him. I know he changed.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Child need him.
Okay. Is the panel ready to vote? Okay, Mr. Byrosh, you'll be voting first.
Mr. Cousins, I'm gonna have to vote to deny your parole based on the fact that you're an 8th felony offender with an extensive criminal record of numerous crimes against the person. And your extremely poor performance while you've been in custody committing 4 aggravated batteries on inmates, and there's strong law enforcement opposition and victim opposition. For those reasons, I can't grant parole.
Sure.
Mr. Kuzan, I wished you had taken more training. I mean, I'm tempted to grant it. But while you're there, you need to do something other than fight and try to take some anger management classes. I believe you changed, I really do, but I'm gonna have to vote to deny.
I took Annie's management class,
Okay.
8th grade. I took that already.
Okay. All right, we're voting. My vote is the same for the same reasons. Mr. Cousins, try to take a few more classes. You don't have hardly any. You know, you've been down 21 years. You should have a lot more than that. So my vote is to deny also. Good luck to you. You'll be able to reapply, I think, in 2 years. This is an aggravated offense. So get that done before you reapply, because it is close.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I see the texture?
Finger in the water, see it's wet.
Where I wanna be right now. Well, no, not right now, they have that short thing going on. It's like my biggest fear.
Well, it was 6, so we didn't go to the beach, and then like 2 days later.
Okay, parole board is back in session. We're still at Rayburn, Correctional. Sitting with me on the board is Mr. Barra to my left, Mr. Tillis to my right. My name is Pete Freeman. Warden, Day is with us today. Also, Michael Robinson is the case that we're gonna be hearing. Tell me, name and DLC number.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Michael Robinson, 741-870.
Okay. You're a fourth felony offender who was convicted of 1 count unauthorized entry and 13 counts of theft. And on 7/10/23, you were sentenced as a habitual offender for a total of 5 years in Jefferson Parish. Your parole eligibility date was 3/1/24. Good time date is 12/26, and full term date is 12/1/27. Is that information correct, Mr. Robbins?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Your case has been assigned to me, so I'm gonna be taking the lead on the case. The way we'll handle it is that I'll take the lead, ask you questions. You don't have any supporters here, so you will give me your statement, and lastly, we'll let Mr. Myers give his statement.
Yes, sir.
So that's the way we're gonna handle the hearing. All right. Let's get going, Michael. How old are you, Michael?
I'm 37 years old.
37. Okay. How long would you say you've been in prison throughout your life? It was 37 years. Give me an estimate of how long you've served.
Say a total amount, maybe about 7 in and out, sir. This is the longest time I've ever been locked up, incarcerated all my life.
So all your other times you've been in parish jail?
Yes, sir.
What about Florida? You wasn't incarcerated in Florida?
I was incarcerated in Florida.
Okay, what happened in Florida? What you did?
I was walking and seen a credit card on the ground, and I decided to swipe it and use it unauthorized.
Tell me what programs you've taken to try to help yourself if you were to be granted today.
The most I've taken the most important classes I had chose to was parenting and MRT, which was goal setting and just being a good father back to my daughter, which is 17 years old. So during this time, I have been able to make goals and look at the situation to make me not come back to prison any longer.
I mean, looking at your record, I mean, one of them has you listed as a 6th offender, and that's because they used all out-of-state charges. The other one has you as a 4th offender. So, you know, there ain't gonna be many more chances.
I understand that.
You've done a whole criminal career in 37 years. So, we have to watch that. Why did you get revoked when you got out on supervision in 12/21?
Sir, in 12/21, I had got out. I'm not from the area, of course, in Harvey. I was staying with some folks that really didn't have my best interests at hand. And I had went to a store that was unlocked. A business, I thought it was open when I went, but the store is closed and the doors are open. And I had walked in and walked out, and I got an unauthorized entry.
Okay, let me ask you this. How old were you when you started using drugs?
I was about 16 years old using drugs. I have a firm foundation of recovery and sobriety. So I've been on and off, but the longer I've been recovered for a long time, and so I'm 37 years old. Before I came to Louisiana, I had a lot of clean time. I'm a college student, had a whole lot of great success stories in my life, and been able to, when I had used, subdue my alcoholism and get back on track. And this would be a stepping stone for myself as well.
All right, that's all the questions I had, Mr. Bottom.
See, you had 8 prior terms of either probation or parole, and at least 3 of those has been revoked. That's not very good. Also see that you had 26 arrests so far for 36 crimes. And that's not that good either, except what I see in that was there was no crimes against a person. These were all theft and property crimes. I also see that you had 0 disciplinary actions against you while you were in prison. That's very good if the warden can confirm that. I think that's very good. But I would like to know, what kind of plans do you have that would help you to pay back any of these victims? You owe a lot of restitution. You ever think about how you're gonna pay them back?
Yes, sir. I have a job with the VA. I'm a Navy veteran, and I have a job with doing janitorial work at a VA hospital. I have the paper signed, and they're waiting for me. I can show up at work the first week I'm out. It's part of my goals to pay back restitution and fines, and to build my credit so that I can maybe own a house one day and support myself. I'll be staying with my mother in Oklahoma. I have a father in Oklahoma. I have an ICOT in and $150 for them to deduct off my account. I'll be relocating out of the state if granted parole. I have 2 advocacy letters from my mother and father that support me, who've been supporting me my whole time. And I would be I want to show them that I can do better, and for thanking them for being here with me all those times and through all my recovery. We have numerous counseling sessions together in those times as well, and they still hope for me to succeed. So I have a job, and I'll be reporting to parole within 48 hours with transportation to get there.
All right. Like I said, you had those prior periods of supervision, 8 of them that not very many of them turned out successfully. Tell us why today is the time that this one is going to be different. This one's going to be different. You're going to successfully complete this one.
I want to do it for myself. I know this is not the life I want to live. I don't want to go around the same direction. I have great talents and aspirations about myself. I believe in God, and I really am a law-abiding citizen. That's the peak image that I have for my life, is to use my potential and just to be the best I can be. I want to own my own business, and I like being sober. I like being positive, and I like to be a good person. And I know that I can, and I know that with my charges, like you say, with the enhancement penalties, that I found myself in a rut in my life, and I'm able to get out, and I'm the strongest I'm ever going to be right now today.
How you can stay off the drugs?
Just to support my family, just the love I have for myself. I know drugs are not right. I don't like who I am on it. I don't feel good when I'm on drugs. Sobriety, I feel the best I can be mentally because I'm a writer, and I can express myself better when I'm off drugs. And I want to be successful in my life, and I know there ain't no way I can do that is without have to stay clean. But I will be going to life skills. I'll be going to outpatient treatment with the VA program. The job is a CWT program where it's mandatory that I have to go to recovery groups 3 times a week.
Yeah, but if you leave that program and go to Oklahoma, I mean, what is your sobriety plan? Are you at it?
No, sir. I did smoke marijuana and alcohol, pretty regularly, but I'm not an addict.
So why were you doing all this robbing and stealing? What was the money for?
Actually, when I had came to the West Bank, I myself was robbed. I was pickpocketed. All my credentials were taken from me. And I made a bad decision to get the money, trying to survive. It's just a youthful thing, but I don't believe in stealing at all. With the paperwork is involved, and I like to apologize to the state today and ask that to be put these charges.
I have the final statement, so I have no question.
Neither do I. No, neither do
Ms. Tillis, you?
Yeah, I saw on your record you had in your possession cocaine.
Yes, sir.
You were not using it, or you were just selling it?
I was using at that time. Like I said, I'm a
Said marijuana and alcohol.
Yes, sir.
Lied.
But concerning the crack cocaine, I did have a stint for maybe about 3 months during that time where I did use crack cocaine.
Okay.
What kind of work did you do before you were incarcerated?
I was a college student, going to school for business communications. I have 48 business credit, 48 college credits. It's my aspiration on a entrepreneurial business of lawn service, landscaping, and car detailing. My mother is also on the way of creating her own juicer business. She needs me. She's getting up in age as well, will help me stay sober. I have a 17-year-old daughter and a father who also is a retired city worker for the state of Oklahoma, who will be there in my life to help guide me and support me through my recovery. If you give me the opportunity and grant me my request, I promise I'm not fail you and show you that the criminal justice system can correct inmates and get them back on track.
Questions? Okay.
All right, Warden Day, do you have any comments?
He's been here since February 2023, been a trustee since 8/23, and no write-ups while in here. In our meeting, you know, I told him the concerns that I have and I knew that y'all would have. So if not granted, we'll try to continue to rehabilitate as needed.
Thank you, sir. Okay, now we'll go to Mr. Myers. Mr. Myers.
Good morning, Randy Myers.
Excuse me, Randy. I'm sorry. I need to let him make his final statement before I let you. I'm sorry. Okay, anything you would like to tell the board before we let Mrs. Myers speak and we vote?
It is, sir. I would like to say thank you for your time, and I respect the board and all law enforcement. I have kept faith in God the whole time. I'm a believer of God, and He will see me through. For in Romans 7, chapter 7, verse 25, it says, I thank my God through Jesus Christ our Lord, who shall deliver me from this body of death, Jesus Christ.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now, Mr. Myers, I'm sorry.
Good morning, Randy Myers, Assistant DA, Jefferson Parish. I think it was pretty apparent that he does have a substance abuse problem. I believe the judge had recommended that he take substance abuse before he's out. His answers to y'all's questions indicate to me he doesn't understand addiction, and he definitely needs some help with that until he completes some long-term substance abuse treatment. We would be opposed to his request. And I do also note that he has a high risk assessment, which is very concerning. I've seen 2 of those this week, which is very rare for me. There's a lot of times I don't see a high risk assessment score for many months. So for those reasons, we're opposed at this time. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Myers. Okay, is the panel ready to vote? Okay, Mr. Robinson, I'm gonna be voting first, and I wrote something on my paper. I said bright. You're very bright, man. Very bright, young. But the problem is you need to admit to your problems. You know, you are a drug addict. I can tell you, you are. And you need to always guard against slipping back, because I believe that's what made you commit your crime was drugs. Now, you need some long-term treatment because the judge asked for it. We'll put that on the paper. Your supervision history, your criminal history, and quite frankly, I don't think you were real truthful with me this morning. My vote is to deny.
I'm gonna concur with Mr. Freeman for the same reasons and add the fact that you did have a break that maybe you don't realize already, but you were sentenced on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 crimes, and you got them all to run concurrent, which ended up being a total of 5 years. So you did already get a break.
Thanks.
But I vote with Mr. Freeman today.
Mr. Tillis.
My vote will also be to deny. I think you're doing good right now. I think you need to get some more training, drug abuse training, and you're a bright kid. And you can get your life turned around. So my vote would be to deny today.
Today, parole has been denied. You can reapply. I will put on the paper that I think you need to go to Steve Hoyle. On how much weight that's gonna carry, but it should help, because we need to get you an inpatient treatment, and then I think you would be more suitable. Okay? Good luck.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
We done. Okay, we'll finish at Raven today, Warden. Thank you for the hospitality. We'll be closing out at 10:05.
Thank you.
They're gonna okay, go ahead.
Hey Joshua, how are you?
Hey, Ms. Madison, good morning. Good morning, I'm good, how are you? You can hear me?
Okay, yes, sir, we can hear you. We're getting ready to get started. I was just trying to get everything set up. Okay, all right. We're back in session. It's 10:14. We're at Orleans Parish Prison. Mr. Carter, is there anybody in the room with you or are you by yourself?
I'm by myself, sir.
Okay. Today we'll be here for your revocation hearing, Mr. Carter. I've been assigned your case, so I'll take the lead in questioning. Did you get your parole questionnaire? Have you filled it out?
This paper right up there?
Is that it? Yes, sir, that's it. Okay, thank you. Okay, do you understand it? Because it shows that you're not eligible for an attorney. If you wanted an attorney, you would have to get one yourself. Do you wish to proceed today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, this is how it's gonna go. First off, let me advise who's present with us. We have Madison Ordway of Orleans Public Defender's Office, and she'll be speaking. Bria Robinson, family friend, and she'll be speaking. And Pamela Phillips, your mother-in-law. Those three are gonna be speaking on your behalf. Anyone else will be speaking?
No, sir.
Okay, so then what we'll do is, I'll go over your conditions, tell you what you were charged with. You can plead guilty, guilty with a statement, not guilty, or not guilty with a statement. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'll read these to you. Don't try to explain it to me because I'm gonna ask you individually when I'm interviewing you what happened, okay? So
If I could just jump in briefly, sorry, y'all. I just want to say, Joshua, if you don't know how you should answer any of these questions, the guilty or not guilty, I'm happy to help you out, okay?
Okay, I got you.
All right. So we ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, I bet you are. All right. Your name is Joshua Carter. Today's date is 6/13/24. My name is Pete Freeman. I will be the chair today. My colleagues on the panel are Mr. Tillis to my right, Mr. Barra to my left. We're seated here today at headquarters. Mr. Carter, would you introduce yourself and give me your DLC number for the record?
How you doing? Good morning. My name is Joshua Carter. And my DOC number is 736-767.
Okay. All right, Mr. Carter, today you're here for a revocation hearing.
What up,
I'm a-
sir? I'm
Sir?
DOC number 736-787. I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you. Okay, you've been charged with violating conditions number 4. Number 4, I will not engage in criminal activity, nor will I associate with people who refrain known to be involved in criminal activity. I will avoid bars and casinos. I will refrain from illegal use of drugs or alcohol. You were arrested and charged with domestic abuse, aggravated assault on 10/31/23. However, this incident occurred on 11/27/21, and you were still on parole at the time. As to condition number 4, how do you plead?
Not guilty.
Okay, you're gonna make a statement?
No statement.
Okay.
He can make a statement if you guys
I'm
have
gonna go
questions.
in order. I just
Okay.
want to know if he was pleading not guilty with a statement, okay?
Okay.
I shall not have in my possession any firearms or dangerous weapons. How do you plead to that charge?
Not guilty. What a statement.
Okay, and number 10 is your supervision fees. How do you plead to that?
I plead guilty. What a statement.
All right. All right, let's get some of these statements down now. Okay, you know, with regards to conditions number 4, Agent Santini offered a copy of the arrest report to the subject. The arrest report dated November 2021. So what happened on that date between you and Brent?
Mr. Freeman, it was 3 years ago, I believe, and I really don't recall anything from the incident. I really don't recall anything from the incident.
So you don't recall no fighting, no arguing over your kids being sick and all of that?
No, sir. What I do recall is around that time, 2021, I was just released from prison, and I was just released from prison, and you know things were hard for Brea Robinson. You know she was going through you know emotional stages that she was not good financially, mentally. Man, I didn't support her like I should. I could have handled that situation different. But as far as the fussing and the fighting, I don't recall any of that, sir. But I do take full accountability that I should have been there for her. But I gained custody of my kids. I have full custody of my kids, and our relationship been fine ever since. And like I said, this happened 3 years. This was all 3 years ago.
Okay. Also, you charged with having a gun. Tell me about that. Did you have a gun with you?
No gun at all.
Why would she say you had a gun?
I see. Probably to make it, she was going through mental issues, and I don't know, sir. I really can't tell you this feeling.
Okay, so you're not saying you had a gun, then you're saying you didn't.
Oh, I didn't have a gun.
Okay, did you threaten her? Tell her she was dead, B?
No, Mr. Freeman.
Why would she make all this up? I mean, and the cops obviously felt there was something due to it because they issued a warning. I mean, they arrest warrant.
She was
Why would she pick all that up? There's got to be a reason. I mean,
like I said, Mr. Freeman, she was emotional, you know, she was emotional and she was going through some things and she, you know, when emotions involved, we tend to do things to hurt people that, we tend to do things that intentionally to hurt people that they know not right and they still do them, they still do it. That's the only thing I can see, Mr. Freeman, that she was just trying to hurt me. For me just coming home, but not being in the house supposed to,
Only been home for a week, huh, when this happened?
home for a week.
1 week.
1 week released from prison. And like I said, I had to get my things in order. I had to get my things in order so I could come back and get my kids and, you know, be the father that I needed to be for them. And I guess, you know, her doing it on her own for so long, that made her, it brought her in a stage, like as soon as I came home, like she was ready to throw the towel and just give me the kids and just, you know.
Kids y'all had?
We have three, sir.
Okay, you still in contact with this lady?
Bria Robinson? No.
Robbins.
Huh?
Yeah, Miss Bria.
No, I have full custody of the kids, sir.
Okay, who's keeping them right now?
My auntie.
Okay, but I mean, in the arrest report, it stated that she said she saw a Glock, a small Glock, and that you threatened to kill her, and said this has happened before. So you're denying all of that.
No.
Okay. I have no further questions. Laura?
Do you remember having your kids that week after she let you have your kids? Do you remember that part of it at least?
I have my kids, yeah, like a few weeks after I came home and I got my situation straight, probably like a month after I received my kids. But when I came home, I did visit my kids.
Do you have any kind of mental problems or anything like that?
No, sir.
I'm just wondering why you don't remember a whole day of a day that you probably got arrested or got a charge.
Yeah.
You know, how can that just be forgotten? The whole day.
That
happened to you regular?
No, that day was made up, sir. That's
You don't even remember the cops telling you you're under arrest or nothing? When do you start remembering things after? When you're in jail, when you're in court, when?
Nah, I got arrested 2 years prior from that incident. That alleged incident, I got arrested on the 23rd, 2023. That was 2 years later, sir. Yes, I remember the day I got arrested. And on the day I was arrested, I was in the store buying costumes for my kids on the day I was arrested. On this incident.
That's 2 years after the incident occurred, allegedly.
Allegedly.
All right. That answers what I need to know.
Ms. Till?
How long have you been incarcerated?
On this time I've been arrested,
Previous, all your arrests, incarceration.
I've been incarcerated from 2018 to 2021 when I got released, and this time here, I've been incarcerated 8 months on this time, 8 months, and I was incarcerated 3 years.
I got you. It says on the police report, assault to a child. When you had that altercation.
Assault with a child?
Domestic abuse, aggravated assault to a child.
No, that gotta be incorrect. There gotta be some misspelling. Never had that on my arrest. Never been arrested for assault with a child.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
I got another question for him. Okay. You said you had custody of your children now?
Yes, sir.
And how did you get custody of the children? Was that an ugly situation there, or she just gave them up to you? How did that work out?
Yeah, she just gave it up till we came. Like I said, our relationship been totally fine, like totally fine. Once I got my things together, weeks, like probably a month after I got out of prison, I got my things together and I got my kid, our relationship been totally fine. That's why I had no idea, no way at all to know that I had a warrant out for my arrest. I was continue living my life, doing what I gotta do as a father for my kids. I was in school, I was enrolled in school. I'm enrolled in school right now in CDL trucker school, trying to obtain my CDL so I get a better job and better pay, so I could take care of my children. I had no idea I had a warrant out for my arrest for this alleged allegation, this alleged crime that I committed 2 years ago. I had no idea. I was total in shock when a police officer ran my name and said I had a warrant out. Like I said, our relationship been totally fine. Totally fine. I never knew anything about it. Anything. Just the God honest truth.
Okay. Miss Ordway, you would like to go last, I take it?
I would like to go last. Thank you so much, y'all.
Okay. Miss Bria Robinson.
Yes,
You're
sir.
on, okay. What do you have to say, Miss Robinson?
The incident that occurred, I don't remember what happened. I was fully intoxicated, substance abuse, mental abuse. I do go through depression and anxiety. That day, I don't fully remember. I talked to the DA and let them know I didn't remember. I was going through like mental abuse. So I was kind of distracted in any way, but I do know Joshua was not an aggressive person. I pretty much provoke everything. So I don't know when the call was made out. I did just get myself back together, like mentally wise. And I really don't think Joshua needs to be in jail on this charge. Like it's like a bogus charge. I talked to the DA. Like my life without Joshua helping me, I don't think I would be here today. I really hate that he had to go through this with the court and all, because like I say, around that time, I was not in my right mind. So whatever it was that day, I'm pretty sure it didn't come from him. I was getting physically abused. So I don't know. And then the allegations of the children, Joshua never harmed no child. I never saw him with no firearm. Like everything is kind of destruct to me. I don't like, I fully don't remember what happened, you know?
Okay. Miss Robinson. So now you're saying you didn't see a firearm?
I don't remember nothing that happened today. And when I talked to the lady, Miss Evelyn, I told her my situation about the street drug use and all. And I talked to her and I called the cried and everything else. Like, I don't remember nothing. It's a blur. When you load it and, you know, you're doing things you're not supposed to, it comes with problems, you know. I don't even remember making a police call. Like, even to locate the police report, the attention report, just to help Joshua out in his case, the police still never gave it to me. And then it comes to where it been 3 years, so they dropped the charge, and then they put child endangerment. That's bogus, too. Like, I've been calling and calling, trying to get help to get this charge dismissed. I even went to the DA office, dropped the charges, etc. The lawyer never seen those papers either. My mama even went down and brung a paper from a different lawyer that was stamped by civil court to drop the charges. That still never made it down there either.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Miss Robinson.
I got a question.
You're welcome.
Mr. Barros has a question for you, Miss Robinson.
No problem. I'm listening.
So you're telling us that you don't remember nothing about that day and that you positively are not fearful of him in any way, shape, or form?
No,
No.
I'm not at all. Joshua want her to fly. I'm sorry.
Has he ever harmed you in the past?
No.
No.
I'm pretty in this situation. I'm pretty much the aggressive. Like Joshua, he doesn't argue or nothing. He'll just be like, you know what, we'll work on it. He's more of the man in the situation. I'm more of the child. Like Joshua, he doesn't cause me no harm. And my children is at the point, like I'm with my kids and stuff. They don't even want by me putting them through what I put them through. They don't want nothing to do with me. They want their dad. And like they need their daddy. Honestly. Until I fully get myself back together. I'm pleading to please release anything.
So you want him released?
Yes, I do. Please. To keep me here and to keep my children strong, yes, I do.
Okay.
Whatever I need to do, I would do it.
Okay. Let's go to Miss Phillips, Miss Pamela Phillips. Is she on the line?
On the camera.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Good morning, panel. My name is Pamela Phillips, and I am Joshua's mother-in-law. I'm on because I want to attest to Joshua's character. Joshua, like Bree just said, Joshua won't hurt a fly. I'm sure as you see, he's a very quiet, mild-mannered individual. And before this incident occurred that he got arrested, Joshua was already enrolled in CDL school for trucking. And we constantly discussed how he was going to get his career on path and the things that he really wanted to do, his aspirations, how he wanted to do better to take care of children, and that he wanted to be a good example for the children, especially for the boys. Joshua has several boys and beautiful daughters, and they love their father. They love him. Joshua has great ideas that he shares with me constantly. We're always discussing real estate because that's something he's interested in, and that's something that I do as well, owning several properties, and he's always giving me some good advice on what I should do and how to manage. And I shared with him some ideas about what he should do once he got everything clear with school and doing the CDL and the 18-wheeler classes, that we would join together and get us an 18-wheeler and be productive. And I know Joshua can be a positive impact in our community in so many ways. I think Josh has just been caught up in stuff that he shouldn't even be caught up in. Josh is a good man. You don't hear many mother-in-laws talk about their son-in-law. I am behind him 100%. I can't express the love and the dedication that he has shown to me and to my daughter and to my grandchildren. When I went through Ida, Joshua Carter Sr. was there. He was there as a man, helping, getting things back in order. He put all his energies. He didn't have to, but he did.
Can you start to wrap it up, please?
I just want you to know, board, how positive Joshua is. And I'm sorry if I have a lot of words to say about him, because I haven't even expressed half of it. But I will wrap it up and say Joshua does not belong in jail. Joshua belongs in society with his family and mostly his children, to be that productive individual that God has called him to be. Because I know that God has his hands on him. That's why Satan constantly attacks him. And I know that he will be everything that we want him to be and even more. Thank you for your thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you for speaking, Ms. Phillips. It helps a lot. Okay, Joshua, anything you want to say on your behalf before we turn it over to Ms. Ordway?
I'd like to say to you all that I guarantee that if you release me, you will never ever have to worry about me again. I mean, I promise. I'm not one of the guys you gotta worry about. I promise. Thank y'all.
Okay, Ms. Ordway, if you can wrap it up for us.
Thank you all. Thank you, members of the board. I guess I want to start by just saying it's always a complicated situation when you have somebody coming to the board who is attesting to their innocence. Because there was a police report made in this case. There was somebody who called 911, but that person has come forward time and time again to say that she does not believe that those things she said happened at the time happened. She has spoken to me directly. She has signed an affidavit at our office explaining that she was using drugs at the time. She was emotional. She was in a place where she didn't have any power, and that this was a way that she was able to exercise power. Joshua had been gone for 3 years while she was left alone taking care of her children, and she was angry. She was in an abusive relationship with another partner and didn't know how to channel her feelings or manage her feelings properly. She has signed this statement saying that she has never seen Joshua with a gun, she did not believe that there was a gun there that day. Joshua doesn't remember this day because the things that she said happened didn't happen. It was any day in Joshua's life. Just like I don't remember November 17th of 2021 because it was not an important day to me. Joshua doesn't either. Mr. Carter is somebody who I've grown to care about very deeply in the last few months working together since October of last year. He's a client of mine that when I go to court and I sit down next to him, he asks me about me. He asks me about my family. He asks me about where I come from, why I decide to do this work. I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. He's somebody that we should be really excited and proud to bring into our community because he is somebody who is an exquisite person, a phenomenal father, someone who's actually he has a baby due to in the next few days here, and I want desperately for him to be there to welcome that baby into this world and impart on it some of the immense wisdom that he's gained through some of his mistakes. But also through being able to triumph after those mistakes. I'm hoping that you guys received the release packet that I sent over, which includes some letters of support from Mr. Carter's grandmother, who is not able to be here today, along with his sister, who is logged on but working, so unable to speak herself. A letter from Miss Robinson as well that memorializes some of the things she shared with you all today, and she has shared with me separately. It also has a release plan explaining that Joshua has a stable location to live in. We've connected him with therapy services because we acknowledge that being incarcerated for such a significant period of time, especially when you're a young man coming to age, is something that you need to work through, and you need to understand how that affects you so that you're able to be successful moving forward. And we've also noted that Mr. Carter was about 2 weeks away from finishing his CDL school. He will enroll in that again. I've spoken to his boss at Hertz, which is where he was working prior, and he does have a job upon his return. This is a gentleman who's returning to a supportive community that is stable, that demonstrated his ability to comply with parole for many years. I think the fact that this warrant was out on Joshua for so long with nobody ever thinking that he might be somebody who would commit another crime is really telling. Mr. Carter is somebody that he's asking for mercy, and he's also asking for an opportunity because, as you heard him just say, he's not going to be back here. And based on my relationship with him, I meet a lot of people in this job, a lot of people that I'm not sure will not be back in the system. Joshua is somebody that I can say confidently is going to be okay if he's given the opportunity. So we're asking that you release him back onto parole. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I think that's all we have. So now we're ready to vote, panel?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Carter, it's been an interesting hearing. You know, and you know, it was 2 years ago that it happened. You've been in there for what, 8 months? And obviously your Miss Robinson does not sound afraid of you. You got custody of your kids, so you must have been doing something right. And really, I mean, without her, and she can't verify there was a gun or anything, my vote today is to not revoke and reprimand with credit for time served.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Okay, Mr. Firearm.
I'm gonna concur with Mr. Freeman on that and recommend that you be reinstated for the same reason.
Appreciate you, appreciate you.
Bill?
I also concur with him, and I hope that you keep your word and take care of your kids.
Well, appreciate you all.
All right.
Sincerely appreciate you all.
That's it, Mr. Carter. Your parole has not been revoked. We'll get a letter to the jail within the next couple of days, and they'll turn you loose.
All right, thank you. Y'all have a wonderful day. Thank everybody.
All right, buddy.
Joshua.
Well, what I did?
Joshua.
Huh?
Hey, can you tell the officer to bring in, is it August Navarre? August Navarre in next, please. Thank you.
Hey, good morning, August. How are you?
How you doing?
Good. Think
I can't hear you.
Okay. It is now 10:57. We are back at Orleans Parish Prison. Today with me on the board is Mr. Tillis to my right, Mr. Barra to my left. Today we will be doing a revocation hearing on August NAVARRE. Okay. August, the way this is gonna go is that, Mr. Who has this case? Mr. Tillis has your case, so he'll lead the question. I am gonna go over some preliminary information with you. I'm gonna go over your violations and you can plead not guilty with a statement, or guilty and guilty with a statement. Okay, do you understand how you can plead?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and just wait, just make your plea, because we're gonna let you explain each thing as when Mr. Tillis starts questioning you, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, give me your name and DLC number.
My name is August NAVARRE. My DOC number is 746-440.
Okay. Okay, and also today we have here who wishes to speak, Jacob McCarty, his attorney, Mr. McCarty, okay, and Zanelle Hall, your mother. Okay, so both of them speak. They'll speak at the appropriate time. Mr. McCarty, I'm sure you'd like to go last. Is that correct?
Actually, I'd like to go first, if at all possible, to help frame the discussion.
Okay, all right, well, let me read. Okay, when it comes to y'all, I'll let you go first. So let's go on what you're hearing. Okay, August, it is alleged that on 7/31/2023, you were arrested for possession of a firearm by your probation officer. How do you plead to that charge?
Not guilty.
Guilty?
Not guilty.
Not guilty, okay. Okay, and that charge was null prost on 3/19/24. On 7/31/23, Agent Guar learned that you had recently ingested heroin and fentanyl. When personally asked, you admitted to using opiates and fentanyl to the intake deputy and nurse at the Orleans Parish Justice Center. How do you plead to that charge?
Not guilty.
All right. Also on that same date, you willingly harbored a juvenile. How do you plead to that charge?
Not guilty.
Okay. And and then the condition number 5, once again, is going to be the firearm. Okay. So, Mr. Tillis, will you begin the question?
Yeah. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing today, sir?
Good. Mr. August, how long have you been incarcerated?
I've been incarcerated going on now probably like 11 months.
That's
7/31 and now, 7/31/24 to now.
This is the first time you've been incarcerated?
Since being on parole, yes.
How long were you incarcerated before you got paroled?
3 years.
3 years. Did you take any training while you were there, the 3 years prior?
Yes, sir.
What kind of training did you get?
I got a certification in carpentry, and I got I forgot. I think it's Like, I ain't finished the welding class though, cause I got shipped to another facility, but I got the other one, the carpentry.
It appears maybe you might have a drug problem. Did you take any,
Yeah, I took, since I've been incarcerated now, I graduated from Metropolitan. I got the certificate right here. I graduated from Metropolitan while I'm being incarcerated right now. It's like a drug rehab, anger management class. You know, I completed that since being in jail right now.
I see. What kind of educational training you have? You finished high school?
GED?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my GED.
Oh, you got your GED? Okay, tell me about the gun problem that you had.
I come home from jail, really, you know, I got out June 10th, 23, and I really didn't have nowhere to go. So I really used the resources of being with my baby mother, my child mother, you know, knowing that I just wanted to cooperate with being on parole, not being a scoundrel or being in places where I couldn't, you know, be. So I just used what I had, the only resource I had, you know, knowing that it probably wasn't healthy for me, but that's all I had to go off of at the time, you know, and just being in the wrong, I'm guilty of being in the wrong place at the wrong time and associating with the wrong people. But, you know, anything else for like possession of firearm, not guilty of that. But, you know, hanging around the wrong people and choosing the wrong people, yeah, I'm guilty of that. But I only did that because I didn't have nowhere else to go. And I was really trying to do my best on parole being, I just did 3 years doing flat, not just come home.
Okay, who did the gun belong to?
It belonged to my mother-in-law, which is my girl mother.
Okay, so it wasn't your gun.
No.
Did you know it was there?
No, sir.
You didn't know it was there?
No, sir.
Were you working?
In the process of working, not really, but, you know, doing all our jobs, you know, here and there, you know, just, you know, trying to get my grounds, you know, to walk on, but I was only home 45 days.
And you didn't do any drugs while you were there?
No, sir.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have no more questions.
Okay, I have a couple questions. First thing, with the juvenile, you was in Waveland, Mississippi?
No, I wasn't in Waveland, Mississippi. My niece, she ran to Slidell, Louisiana, which is, you know, where my family is originally from. You know, I'm not from New Orleans. I was just staying in New Orleans because that was my only resource to where I could stay at. I'm originally from Slidell, Louisiana. She ran to Slidell, you know, away from my mom now, and me being her uncle, only thing I was trying to do was make sure she was safe. You know, I've been in the streets. I know how the streets are. And she called me in need, and I went and got her. But if I knew she was, you know, and my mom knew that she was with me, that's how they knew what she was. I told my mom because she was worried about her. You know, she was very worried about it, so I had to let my mom know that she's safe, she with me. And, you know, when she ready to go, you can come get her. But it turned out to a whole nother scenario.
Who arrested you?
Who arrested me? My parole officer arrested me.
All right, and you say absolutely you didn't have a gun. It appears that, didn't a cousin of yours give you a gun when you came home for your safety or something and put it in the bedroom?
No, sir.
So they got 3 witnesses say you had a gun, and you're gonna sit here and tell me you didn't?
They had 3 witnesses say I had a gun.
Witnesses said you had a gun.
Oh, listen, I never had a gun. My mother-in-law stated in the affidavit that I never had a gun, that I never possessed a gun.
Okay, I have no further questions.
I'd like to ask another question.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Tillers.
In the record, it says you admitted to using heroin with your live-in girlfriend. Is that true?
No, it's not true. No, that's not true.
Okay, all right.
I think that I could clear up some confusion if I could be heard now.
Okay, go ahead. Well, let Mr. Parole ask his question because you might have more confusion
Certainly. There very well might be.
My question is, I'm looking at the report from the probation officer, and the officer says that one statement was from the offender where he admitted to possessing the firearm and failing to remove the firearm from inside the bedroom. The second statement was from the offender's living girlfriend who admitted to knowing the firearm was inside her apartment. The third statement was from the offender relative who admitted to owning the firearm and allowing the offender to keep it at his residence. So for us to believe the offender, we got to believe that the probation officer was lying. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you want to try to clear it up, please, sir?
Yes, I do. Obviously, there's no way to convince you that the parole officer is lying. Instead, I would like to add more context to what happened. Although Officer Gerard is putting it that way, it's not telling the full story. August's girlfriend, Zanelli, who made every effort to be here, I thought that she was going to be on the Zoom. I think there was some issue with registration this morning, but Zanelli's mother, her car was in an accident and she had some of her personal property in that car. The mother called Zanelli and said, hey, please come get my things from my car. I'm dealing with the car. I will come get the stuff from you when I'm done. Among those things was the firearm. That firearm was inside of August's house where he and Zanelli both reside. It was in a closet. August never possessed that gun. He never had that gun on him. Agent Gerard saw it inside of the closet when he was in the house, but it's undisputed that is not August's gun. He's never been accused of using it, and he's never possessed it. Zanelli took custody of it. Zanelli, I'm sorry, not Zanelli. Kanice has been her name this whole time. Zanelli is his mother. That's my apology. And Kanice is now on the Zoom, fortunately. Kanice took that gun into the home, and Kanice repeatedly asked her mother to come get the gun. August knows that he cannot be around guns. August knows that as a condition of his parole, he cannot be around a firearm. Because he's a felon, he cannot possess a gun. He knows that he is held to a higher standard than us ordinary people, and that gun should not have been in the house. That is why Kanice was repeatedly asking her mother to come get the gun. Ultimately, mom did not come and get it by the time Agent Gerard came into the home. That's unfortunate, but Mr. Navarre has been in jail since July 31st, 2023 for a gun that he never had, all because Kanice and August were trying to help out Kanice's mom. As to the juvenile stuff, that is why his mother, Mrs. Zanelli, is here on the Zoom. That juvenile ran away from home of her own accord. That child lives with Zanelli. She has some problems, or she has had problems in the past. She's actually been doing really great recently, but she ran away from home of her own accord. She did not communicate to August beforehand. August had no knowledge that she was running away from home. When she got to Slidell, she called August because that's the only person that she knows in Louisiana and said, please come get me, I'm in Slidell. August did the right thing. He went and got a juvenile who had run away from home and picked her up from Slidell and took her to his home in New Orleans. August then immediately called his mom, Zanelli, who is that juvenile's caretaker, and informed Zanelli where that child was. Zanelli then immediately contacted Agent Gerard so that Agent Gerard would know where that child was too. That's how Agent Gerard and NOPD even ended up in the home, because August all along was doing the right thing. As for the drug stuff, the questions that August was being asked was, has he ever used drugs? And he was being truthful when he answered them. Yes, he's used drugs in the past, and he had used them with his girlfriend. While he has been in custody, he just reported to you that he finished a drug rehab program. He had not recently, as in like since he had been out, used drugs. The questions that he was responding to when he was booked at the jail was, have you ever used drugs? It was not, did you just use drugs? And so what we're asking for today is a reprimand and a release. Mr. Navarre has been in continuous custody for nearly a year now over what is essentially a string of misunderstandings. That runaway child was not running away to come to August. August helped her out when she got away. That gun was not his. It was Kanice's mom, and Kanice's mom should have come to get it. And August knows he cannot be around guns. They
get rid
made
of
I'm sorry.
He needed to get rid of it.
Yes, and they made every effort to do it. It is extremely unfortunate that Kanice's mom never came and picked up that gun. If she had, we certainly wouldn't be in this pickle today. And as for the substance abuse stuff, Mr. Navarre owns and accepts that he has a substance abuse problem. That is why he has obtained treatment while he has been in jail. But he has not recently ingested any drugs. I mean, certainly not now. He's been in jail since last July. But when he was answering those questions, they weren't questions about, did you just take drugs? He was being asked if he had ever taken drugs, and he was being honest. Yes, he has used drugs in the past. He does not now, and he is actively seeking treatment, and he is in recovery. And so given all of that, we would ask that you reprimand him and release him. And if you have any more questions about that, his mother Zanelli and his girlfriend Kanice are here and happy to talk with you.
Okay, Miss Zanelle Hall, his mother, would you like to speak?
Yes, my name is Zanelle Hall. I am his mother. He is my baby out of 5 kids. The kidnapping charge, he did call me and let me know they were looking for her here, because she got in a little trouble up here, and she went to him. He didn't know she ran away. He immediately called me and told me, Mama, don't worry about her. She's here with me. And I said, I got to get her back here so she can straighten out what's going on here. And I knew about her being there. He did tell me. I did speak with her there. Out of all this, unfortunately, my son has got trapped up in this, and she's doing well. She's graduating this Saturday from Camp Shelby. So I just want him to be home here with me now so I can help get August on his feet. We have 2 businesses here, and I would love for August to come home and let me be a part of his life to get him back on the right road.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We don't have her down, but does this other lady wish to speak?
Well, Kanice appears to have been kicked off of the Zoom or fallen off. She was just here. Let me text her.
Okay. Well, we're gonna move on from right now and try to text her and see if she can get in before we're done. Okay, Mr. Navarre, what would you like to tell the board before we vote?
I really just want another chance at society. I spent a whole year in jail. You know, I refrained from the people I used to talk to, even while being incarcerated. You know, my kids need me, my sons need me, you know, and I just want another chance. That's it. I just really want another chance.
Okay. All right, Mr. Navarre, thank you. Is the panel ready to vote?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Tillis, it was assigned to you. You will be voting first.
I'm gonna believe this story that we're hearing. My vote is to grant.
Okay, your vote is not to revoke.
Not to revoke. I'm sorry, not to revoke.
Okay, Dan. Mr. Bauer, I'm sorry.
Well, I too believe the story somewhat, but that's the problem. You knew that there was a firearm in the house. You knew that it was a violation. You're on for a charge that is illegal possession of a firearm and carrying a firearm by felon already. I got a problem with it. I'm gonna have to vote to revoke based on the fact that you knew it, based on the fact that everybody there knew it was in the house and it was a violation. That should have been done was you should have had your girlfriend take it out of there. So based on the prior conviction and everybody knew that there was a firearm in that house, I can't grant the rule on that. I mean, I can't reinstate you.
You know, I look at it a lot, but that is the key. I mean, there was a firearm there. Your girlfriend could have got it out. Your mother-in-law could have got it. Anybody should have got it out. You should have left that house if you knew there was a firearm. I'm not letting my officers go into a house that we know they got a firearm and he knows he shouldn't have it. And I just can't get over that fact. So my vote today is to revoke. That's the end of the hearing. We'll move on to the next.
Thank you, Mom.
Get on there and say anything.
His name right there.
Okay, we're called back to order at 11:29. Next up, we'll have a revocation hearing on Leon Peterson. Today on the board with me is to my right, Mr. Tillers, to my left, Mr. Barra. Mr. Peterson, could you give me your name and DLC number? Name and DLC number. You off of mute?
Leon Peterson, 446698.
Okay. All right. Mr. Peterson, today you're here for a revocation hearing. The way this will go is, first off, I will go over the preliminary information. You just tell me if it's correct. Then I will read each violation to you. You can plead guilty, not guilty with a statement, or not guilty. Either you need to plead guilty, guilty with a statement, or not guilty and not guilty with a statement. Do you understand that part?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you don't speak, don't tell me what's going on, because Mr. Tillers will be having your case and he'll go over the violations with you and get your explanations, okay?
Yes, sir.
Also in attendance with us today, we have Naja Williams with the Orleans Public Defender. Mr. Williams, would you like to go last or first?
Good morning, board members. My name is Brian Lawrence. I think Ms. Williams would like to go last. She's an attorney. She's in a section over at CDC, and she'll be joining the group shortly.
Okay, thank you. And then Mr. Lord, you're going to speak?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and Kashawn Peterson, sister, are you here?
Yeah,
Are you going to speak?
yes, sir.
Okay, and then we have Sharon Peterson. And I think she's with Kashawn Peterson, and that's the mother, and she also will speak. We will get to y'all at the proper time to allow y'all to make y'all statement on Leon's behalf. Okay? All right.
Okay.
Let's get started. All right. How long have you been held on these charges?
Been held on these charges since January the 5th, 2024.
Okay, so you've been there about 5 months, 6 months. Okay, I'm gonna read the violations and you may make your plea. You failed to report to the office on 5/9/23 when ordered to do so by Supervisor Monica Riggs. You failed to report to the office on 11/17/23 when ordered to do so by Agent Tobias Ketchel. How you plead to that charge?
Guilty with a statement.
Okay. Guilty. Okay, you're also charged with you failed to avoid criminal activity as evidenced by your arrest on 1/5/24 by a probation pro agent for outstanding warrant by the New Orleans Police Department for domestic abuse battery for an incident that occurred on 8/14/22. How do you plead to that charge?
Not guilty.
Okay. The charges were refused by the DA on 2/1/24. And then you're also charged with you failed to be employed throughout your supervision. How you plead to that?
Guilty with a statement.
And you're $1,197 behind on supervision fees. How you plead to that?
Guilty.
All right, Mr. Tillis, you may begin.
Morning, Mr. Peterson. How are you?
Okay.
How long have you been out on parole?
think I was released April 20th, 2022.
You don't have to speak into the speaker. We can hear you. You can just look up into the camera. And you've not found employment?
I was employed, but I never knew where the office was at. They was having problems finding the office, and they was trying to make me go to the office and jump to Paris, and I ain't had transportation to get over there. I had jobs. I was employed.
You were where?
I was employed. I just by me not having transportation to get to the office that they was trying to send me to, in Jefferson Parish, which is on the West Bank and Warden, I would have had a problem. But me not having transportation to get there, that's the only reason I had proof of it. That's the only reason I ain't showing the proof of the fraud.
I got you. Okay, why didn't you report to your officers when you were ordered to?
They had the office building that they had on Porter Street. They had I don't know what they had dealing with that building, but they was trying to get me to go across the river in Jefferson Parish to report, and I had a transportation to get there.
Okay, what happened on your last arrest? Tell me about that.
It was just a misunderstanding. I approached this woman about some money she had owed. I was just trying to get my money that she owed me. I ain't hit her none of that.
You didn't hit her on her shoulder?
No.
Did you throw coffee on her?
No, sir.
Was that your ex-girlfriend?
No, she wasn't a girlfriend. She just was a friend that I knew.
Okay. All right. So you didn't throw coffee on her, and you didn't. She said that you hit her on her shoulder, slapped her on her shoulder, on her arm.
No, I ain't slapped on her arm.
You left the scene after this incident happened?
Yeah, I left him around up.
Okay. No questions.
Mr. Barrow?
How much money did she owe you, and why?
She had owed me $100. She borrowed $100 from me, and she was supposed to pay it back that day, and she didn't.
You loaned her $100 in cash?
Yes, sir.
That's your, that's 1,000.
That's all the questions I have.
Okay, so you're denying any involvement with regards to the domestic abuse battery?
Yes, sir.
Why would she make up those charges?
Because she didn't want to pay me my money.
Okay. All right. I have no further questions. We will hear from Mr. Brian Large. Well, let's hear from the sister first, Sean Peters.
Yes, sir. I'm Kayshawn.
Okay, tell us what you want us to know.
I just want you to know that he does have a family that's here, supporting him, and that I'm not familiar with everything, but he has worked. He's worked numerous temp jobs. Like, we right down the street from one of the places he worked at. He worked at this bread factory. He had worked through the probation and parole people. They sent him to a program, so he has done things, throughout. But sometimes the temporary work is just not consistent all the time. And he's like, I am too a convicted felon, and it's hard for me to find work.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
So, it's just hard. There are people hiring, but with your background, it's hard.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Sharon Peterson, your mother?
Good morning. My name is Sharon Peterson. Leon has done the best that I've seen him done in years. This particular time, and when my last conversation with him was, I was in the hospital, I had surgery, and he was gonna come and see me, and then I don't see my child, and I don't know where my child is, and when I find out where he was and what it was for, and I'm like, I know he ain't got no girlfriend, you know, he never bring one to the house or anything, you know, so I really couldn't understand it, and it was kind of hard to communicate with him, you know, because they'll tell you, you call, it's one day, and then you go down there and it's something different. But we are a supportive family. We've been there for Leon all his life and gonna continue to do that. You know, his room is waiting on him. I have a 91-year-old mother, and I really need Leon to help me along with everybody else with my mom. And I you know, it's been almost 6 months, and I think I've seen him maybe twice. And it's just hard being a parent, you know, and dealing with this kind of stuff, you know. But I love my son, and I'm gonna always be there for him.
Okay, thank
We just
you.
looking for sympathy,
Tillis has a
empathy.
question for you.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Tillis has a question for you, please.
You say you guys are gonna support him?
Yeah, he lives in my house when he's home.
Do you have transportation?
I do have an old regular truck.
I have transportation. I'm his sister.
Okay, that's what really I was thinking about. You know, he needed to get a certain place to see his officers, and seemed like you guys would have helped him get there, or he would have made it very important to do this if he would.
So this is his sister, Kayshawn Peterson. In New Orleans, the probation and parole building, it has been in several different spots, several different locations. And it's been across the canal, it's been downtown, it's been in Harvey. So 1 minute they're saying you don't have to go to the building because they're not at that building anymore. The next minute they're saying you have to go to this building, and then they're not at that building anymore. They were changing locations.
So you'll have, if he is granted, if his parole is not revoked, then he'll have transportation to get back to take care of his business?
Yes.
He'll have transportation.
And he'll have transportation to get.
Yeah, we'll make sure if we are aware of it, we're gonna make sure he do what he needs to do as far as.
Cause I mean, I've been in contact with like almost all his POs, like from the beginning. Like, so that's how I know that he was in different programs through the probation and parole system. Like, they ordered him to go to certain programs, and he worked with those programs.
He was in one when he got arrested.
I
he
know.
was attempting to do
Yeah.
something when he got arrested.
Even so, he has swapped so many different probation officers.
It's
Okay,
inconsistent.
let's move on. Let's move on. We understand that probation, you do get a lot of different officers. And I do know that they did move from where they were to a new location. That's not your main violations anyway. I mean, your main violation is what this young lady alleged. And you're saying none of that happened, correct?
Right.
All right, now we'll go to Brian.
Yes, good morning, sir. Brian Lars, social worker with the Orleans Public Defender's Office. And just rolling back on that conversation, yeah, the probation and parole office here in New Orleans has been several different places, but I do think that they're back located in Orleans Parish. So I think it would be easier for him to, get to the office. So I did create a Renchi plan, and I hope the board have a copy of it. But one of the things that I hope the board consider is that, I looked into the sick case for a very long time. Like Leon said, he's been incarcerated for about almost 6 months now. And we feel confident that Leon did not commit any acts of violence. But I think Leon, like he had mentioned, he agreed that he could have handled this situation a lot better. He could have coped with the situation a lot better, not arguing, continue to add fuel to the fire. In other words, sometimes, if she did owe you money, you understand, you see where the conversation or interaction is going. So you remove yourself. Sometimes you got to accept losses, because when you lend money, you're not guaranteed to get the money back. So we had several opportunities to talk about this particular situation. And I think he agrees that he could have dealt with the situation a whole lot better. But some of the things that I did put in place, as you can see, I have a referral that I made to Cater Prevention and Recovery, where Leon will participate in anger management classes and DV classes, and to learn healthy coping skills to prevent incidents like this from happening in the future. And also, he has been referred to First 72 Plus, where he'll be assigned a life coach and participate in peer support groups and learn additional coping skills. And as his mother has said, Ms. Sharon Peterson, it has been verified by our office that he has a secure place to stay at 3123 College Court in New Orleans East. Our office will continue to make appropriate referrals as needed to assist his ongoing needs. And we will also coordinate with probation and parole to maximize support in the event that a crisis might occur. And he'll have daily access to our office. I'll be actively case managing this case as I do with all my clients. As I said,
you work for the DA's office, the judge's office. What's the name of your program?
The Orleans Public Defender's Office. Orleans Public Defender's Office. Yes, and I've been a social worker here for the past 5 years. I deal with a lot of cases like this. And with the plan that I put in place, we've seen an awful lot of success. And, we have an amazing team here that consists of other social workers and client advocates just to help address the client's needs. So, and over the past, I've had several meetings with Leon over the past, several months, and he is definitely recognized that he could have dealt with this situation in a better way. And I feel like he's motivated to do better, and I'm eager to work with him. So
let me ask you a question. Has he been doing drugs?
Oh, no, he has nothing in his history, nothing relating to drugs, no.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and last, Mr. Leon, do you want to say something on your behalf before we let your attorney close it out?
Well, my attorney to close it out.
Okay, okay. All right, Ms. Williams, he's deferred to you. What you have to say.
Good morning. My name is Naja Williams, and I represent Mr. Leon Peterson. I'm here today to speak in support of Mr. Peterson and to advocate for his release back onto active parole. I have been in regular contact with Mr. Peterson since his arrest on January 5th, 2024. On that date, Mr. Peterson had gone to the probation and parole office to receive a white t-shirt because he just received a job and he wanted to be presentable at the job on the first day. Shortly after he arrived, he was arrested on one outstanding warrant for an alleged domestic incident with his dating partner that up until that point, he did not know existed. This incident is alleged to have occurred in August of 2022. The officers mentioned in their gist that there were no physical marks observed and EMS was refused in the alleged battery incident. Since his arrest, Mr. Peterson has maintained his innocence. He did not have an opportunity, however, to go to trial and obtain a not guilty verdict, as the state elected to refuse the charges on February 5th in acknowledgement of evidentiary issues associated with this case. After spending the past 5 months now in jail, Mr. Peterson has had a lot of time to reflect on how he could have handled this incident with the complainant better. This was a situation that Mr. Peterson, as he testified before the board, now knows that while on parole, he cannot place himself into or be engaged in any form of confrontation. Plan in which the social work department in our office has put together. It was sent to the board ahead of this hearing, and Mr. Lars has equipped Mr. Peterson with the tools to better handle relationships and conflict with others. He has been referred to the CLYDE program, which is located at the Tulane Tower, where our office is also located. And beyond the CLYDE program, our office will connect Mr. Peterson with complete wraparound services to ensure that he's in a position to succeed on parole and thrive in the community. Mr. Lars also has connected Mr. Peterson with First 72 Plus, where he'll be assigned a life coach and participate in support groups to learn healthy coping skills. In regards to Mr. Peterson's housing, as you have heard, Mr. Peterson's mother has confirmed that he has secure housing with her, and we have the address provided. It is located in New Orleans. He will not live with the CW. Him and the CW have no contact whatsoever, as he truthfully does not know or have familiarity with the CW to get in contact with her again. In regards to his probation, violation of the parole violation of the past due fees. Outside of Mr. on the now refused charges, he's also behind on his parole fees. This is something that he is very aware of and very eager to remedy. Upon Mr. Peterson's release, our office will assist him in securing financial support to get current with these fees, and also assist Mr. Peterson with any Medicaid assistance if he needs that, so that he can receive medical support. Throughout my work with Mr. Peterson, I've had the opportunity to speak with his mother, and I've had the opportunity to speak with his sister, who, as you have heard, are both present on this Zoom to show the overall overarching support that they have for Mr. Peterson. So to conclude, humbly, I ask the board to release Mr. Peterson back on active parole and just give him another chance to not only successfully complete his parole, but to actively contribute to this community. Mr. Peterson has never had the full wraparound services that this office is making sure that he has and will provide to him upon release.
Yes, ma'am. Can you wrap it up? Can you wrap it up, please? We were kind of running late on time.
I am. I'm on the last part. We'll provide for him upon his release. And again, I just humbly ask the board to grant Mr. Peterson.
Okay, I thank you very much for all of that information. Is the board ready to vote?
Yes.
I am too. Okay, Mr. Barra, are you ready to vote? Okay, go ahead, Mr. Tillis.
My vote is to do not revoke. And with all of the stipulations that your attorney said, all the classes and all that. Thank you.
Okay, Danny.
All right, I'm gonna vote to reinstate your parole also, with the special conditions added that you complete everything recommended by First 72, that you're ordered to live with your mother at her address for the first year, no moving, no changing, you stay there and for the first year, that you follow all the recommendations from the New Orleans Public Defender's Office program outlined by Mr. Lawrence. If you fail with any of those, my vote would change to be revoked.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Peterson, you have 2 votes to not revoke with added special conditions. I concur with my colleagues. I also vote not to revoke. Mr. Large, I expect you, to get in touch with us if he gives you any problems. Lars, I'm sorry, Mr. Lars. But please advise us if you're having trouble with them, and definitely advise the probation officer, okay?
Yes, sir, I definitely will.
Appreciate it. Okay, so that concludes our hearing today with Mr. Peterson. Your parole has not been revoked.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
They hung up on us.
All right, good evening. Today, we're here for a revocation hearing on CLYDE WOODS. Seated with me to my left is Danny Barra, to my right is Mr. Tillis, and my name is Pete Freeman. I am going to be the chairman today. So, Mr. Wood, would you please tell me your name and DLC number for the record?
My name is CLYDE WOODS. My DLC number is 453717.
Okay. All right, Mr. Woods, did you get a parole questionnaire?
Say that again?
A parole questionnaire to determine whether you were eligible for counsel or not.
I think they asked me a few questions before.
Okay, we're gonna put it up on the screen. Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
That's your signature at the bottom?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so it was determined you're not eligible for a public defender. So do you wish to proceed today or hire your own attorney?
Yeah, you can proceed today.
Okay, that's what we're gonna do then. Okay, Mr. Woods, what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna read the violations. You plead guilty, not guilty with a statement, not guilty with a statement, or guilty or not guilty. Okay. After this, your case has been assigned to Mr. Barrod. He will ask you some questions, and we'll move on from there. First, I'm gonna read your violations, and you tell me how you plead. You failed to report for the months of October 23rd, November 23rd, and December 23rd, 2023, I'm sorry, and January 2024. How do you plead to that charge?
Not guilty.
And you failed to make payments, and you're in arrears $945 plus your processing fee. How do you plead to that charge?
Guilty.
All right, Mr. Barra.
Yeah, I'm looking at the preliminary hearing, and it says that the officer produced narratives that said you had not reported for October, November, and December, and January. You saying that you did report for those months?
I reported October and November. I know for sure I did. And what I did, I put in the address transfer, and I was at work a couple of times and I missed the parole officer coming over. But I'm sure October for sure, but November is iffy, but I know I reported to in November to do the transfer, the address transfer.
And where were you trying to transfer to?
I was transferring to Algiers.
To where?
Algiers.
Algiers.
Here. All right. So you admit you didn't report in December and January to anybody in Algiers or over here, right?
December, January, I didn't.
Okay. So the next thing says that you ended up going to Las Vegas, Nevada, and getting arrested by the police in Las Vegas, Nevada on February 24th, 24. What was the deal with that? The trip to Las Vegas, when did you leave for that?
I had went out there to visit somebody, and I just got pulled over, and they arrested me, but I didn't catch no new charge or anything.
So what were you doing in Las Vegas? Just visiting?
Yeah, I was visiting.
But you had already quit reporting to your probation officer, no, December, January, and then February you hadn't reported either.
Yeah,
right?
I had this report. I usually I'll call her and check in, or send her an email.
So if we were to reinstate you on probation, how do we know that you report this time? It looks like you just decided on your own. You didn't want to report no more, and you just quit reporting until you got arrested, and it was out of state.
I'll report.
What? You're gonna have to.
I will.
So were you working this whole time?
Yes, sir. I was working at Mrs. Sweet, a bakery owned place in the, off of Franklin, around the A-Wall.
So there's really no reason why you shouldn't have been paying your parole fees, huh?
Yeah, I was paying rent. I'll catch up with it. I'll catch up with it for sure.
But if we give you a break, you'd catch up those parole fees too?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's all the questions I had.
Okay, how long were you in Las Vegas?
Like probably a couple weeks.
Couple weeks. So you just got there and when you got picked up. But I mean, when you got pulled over, what did they pull you over for? What did they say?
They just did a little routine check, pulled me over and took me to jail. They ran my name and they found out I had a warrant and they took me.
Right. Well, it's gone. Okay. I have no further questions.
I have no questions.
Okay, would you like to make a statement before we vote?
Pretty much, if you give me another chance, I'll report and catch up with my probation, my fees, and report every month. That's about it. And I apologize for the misunderstanding.
Okay, is the panel ready to vote?
Yep.
Okay, Mr. Barra, your case, you're first.
I'm gonna give you a break today and reinstate your probation. Your parole. But I'm gonna add a special condition that you pay the cost of the extradition that it cost Louisiana to get you back from Las Vegas. And the cost of that extradition was $3,740. And you need to pay that cost of extradition within 1 year of your release.
Okay.
You got a problem with that?
No, sir.
All right, and you need to report monthly to your probation. And don't change your address without letting them know. And remember, calling on the phone, that's one thing, but reporting in person is what I'm talking about. You need to report in person once a month.
Okay.
All right?
Thanks.
After that year, if you're still on, the parole officer can let you report less than that if that's what they want to do.
Okay.
All right?
Gillis?
My vote is to do not revoke.
My vote is the same because of Mr. Barras, but you gotta watch that. I mean, you absolutely could have been revoked for going out of state. So in the future, you make sure your probation officer know where you're at all times. Because when they don't, they issue a warrant, you get pulled over and we gotta extradite you back. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're getting a break today. My vote is also do not revoke. Thank you.
Thank you.
Closing out in Orleans at 12:20.
Thank you, sir.